Hello everybody, Martin here, playing another Legacy League round 4 this time, Ad Nauseam Tendrils, and we're on the play. Yeah. Alright, well we get this hand, and it is, like we can sit and discard uninterrupted for a couple of turns with our basic swamp. We have a Ritual and LED and the Probe, like, this is borderline, but I think I'm going to keep. So, because we had to do turn 1 Probe into Therapy, which is nice, and hopefully we can draw like another land, Infernal Tutor. Right, okay. So, we're up against Rug Delver. So what I think I'm going to do here is actually take the Therapy out the Delvers. Because Nimble Mongoose is like a pretty slow clock, and they don't even have a green mana to cast it. Another target would be the Brainstorm, but I think it's actually correct to just get rid of their threat. Leave them with a bit of a garbage hand, and then our Duress can later on take whatever they find with the Brainstorm, like the Force of Will or whatever. It's a bit suspect of us to be on one land against this deck because they have so much soft permission, but at least it's a basic. 2 Mongoose, Dismembers 3, Brainstorms 4, Volcanic is 5. We're gonna take the Delvers with our Therapy. Well, Infernal Tutor is super nice. This means we're like one land away from comboing off. So does this change anything for us? Does this mean we want to take their Brainstorm to just lessen the risk of them finding a force next turn? Now I think we still take the Delvers, because we're missing a land still for this to work out. Play the Volcanic and pass. One land. Yep, there's land. So I think like we can either Duress them now, which I guess like it's rough, right? Like if they drew, like Duress is going to prompt them to Brainstorm, and Duress also means we can't go off this turn. So if they find like something sweet and they hide it on top or whatever, then that's open next turn. I kind of feel like just jamming, like fetching on their upkeep now, because if in case they top deck the Stifle, I want that to be on, like, I want them to tap out on their turn. So I think I'm just going to pass and then fetch on their upkeep, and fetch basic island. It would be really unfortunate if if their one draw step had given them a Stifle. Well, obviously. Okay. Obviously that happened. At least now we can, unless they hit another land, we can just Duress their Brainstorm out of their hand. They hit Wasteland, okay. So I guess we Therapy them here and name Brainstorm. I know it's like, it's tempting to name Mongoose to 2-for-1 them. Also, like Duress can take Brainstorm, but Therapy can't. But I'd rather just get the Brainstorm. That's the most important card by some distance. And they still don't have mana to cast the Mongoose, and now they're left with a very sorry looking hand. So if we can hit like a Dark Ritual, a Petal, or a land, then we'll be sort of looking good. Ponder's nice, but they have got to be looking for like a way to cast their Mongoose, whatever. And they shuffle, so they didn't hit the land. We hit a land. And I think we're going to go for it here. The only thing that hurts us here is them having found days. We know it wasn't on their draw step, and they shuffled on the ponder, so it would have had to be like just days off the shuffle. And it doesn't look like they did. So we're going to make 8 goblins and hope that's enough. And we're actually going to go down to 7 goblins and therapy away their 2 nimble monkeys. Because it's the same amount of turns. 7, 14, 21, 8, 16, 24. And them getting blockers, if they're able to, like, they could go play Tropical Island next turn, Wasteland themselves, play Mongoose, have a blocker, play second Mongoose. Okay, yeah. So they see that too and they concede. Alright, so Rug Delver. Well, I think we want a second Tendrils, probably. I don't really think we want a lot else. What don't we want? I can see either boarding out the Dark Petition or the Sensei's Top. Like, you don't have a lot of mana to just be sitting topping. At the same sort of in the same vein, you don't really have, like, it's not easy getting to 5 mana with the Dark Petition. I think I'm gonna board out the top. Yeah, we don't want Xantid Swarm because of Lightning Bolt. We don't really worry about them bringing in Hateful Permanents. Like, they could bring in stuff like Grafdigger's Cage or Null Rod, but probably not more than 2 pieces. And yeah, I guess that's it. Like, some people want Flusterstorm against Rug Delver to fight Stifles and stuff. I don't really feel that strongly for that card in this matchup because of the poor synergy with Lion's Eye Diamond. Get this hand. Well, they keep 7. Well, like, this is a vulnerable hand due to Underground Sea being the only land. But 2 Brainstorms, Probe, and all that jazz we're going to keep. Could punish us. Nimble Mongoose, my favorite of their openings. Oh, let's see what they're up to. Force Days, Delver, and they have the Wasteland. That's a problem. Force Days, Wasteland, Foothills. It's not good. Well, there's therapy. So we can go C into C pedal therapy. Then if they daze, we have to crack our pedal, and if we do that, they can waste us on the subsequent turn, leaving us with no mana. Oh, it's really tough. I think probably brainstorming is more important. So we're going to play out the pedal to be able to brainstorm around days and just kind of hope. I mean, if they force of will our brainstorm, it's sort of the same as if we therapy them, except we also get their Delver. Okay, well that was good. So let's dump the Tendrils. And I guess put back Brainstorm, because we'll draw that. So now we have to really hope they didn't draw Stifle. They played the Delver. Okay. So I think I like fetching Basic Island here, to be honest. I guess Stifle doesn't matter, they don't have the mana. On the other hand, this is a delta, so there's one less delta for us to hit to make basic swamp. So maybe we just want to YOLO it and go for Underground Sea, actually, to be able to function better and just hope they don't draw a second Wasteland. Yeah, this works. Or does it? Doesn't, because we'll need to play around days as well. Yeah, I think I want these. I want the Brainstorm. Oh, sorry, the LED. Just take Probe and pass. If they have a second Wasteland, that'll probably be the end of the game. They didn't flip, so that might mean Wasteland. Okay, in for 2. Easy. I'll take that all day. Well, yep, that's fine. So let's Probe, and we're going to Brainstorm, and that has to meet the days I would expect. So their hand was also a Delver. They're floating mana, sure. Alright, so now we have to hope that the top of our library is a land. Also, them not flipping here on something relevant would be good. Okay, so so we're gonna get a little bit lucky on the double flips, or lack thereof. And an island, can't complain about that. Okay, come on, one more non-flippy. We're gonna say stop on their upkeep in case they reveal a daze. I think I'm gonna Brainstorm now while they can't daze in case. Well, I guess they wouldn't have drawn daze. Okay, well, that's not too bad. So let's put back Tropical Island Duress, and we just have to hope that they don't Force of Will. Like, we're going to play out Badlands, and we're going to cast Rain of Filth. And then we just have to hope that they don't force it. If they do, we drop down to 8 now. Possibly 8. And then if Delver flips, we'll drop down to potentially 6 if they're able to get the threshold next turn. I don't think they'll be able to get the threshold this turn. So that might still work. Like, we might still be able to then just wait a turn and go off again, unless they find their third Wasteland, which they could. They shuffle here, and that's good. Okay, so their hand is Force and 3 cards we don't know. So let's see, if we play Rain of Filth off the Badlands and it resolves, we can then float a blue with the island and then sack the island to make a black. Then we Therapy naming Force. Then we have 1 blue floating. That way they would have to have double days, but if they do, then they can't Force. So yeah. So basically, like, they shuffle with their Delvers. So like, if they know what they're doing, they'll force this and then just hope to like to flip and kill us. Yeah. Okay. Is that the third Delver? Well, nothing we can do. We just have to pass. They reveal stuff. Okay, so actually, they have 7 damage on the board. If they're able to get one spell into their graveyard, so their hand is Stifle and an unknown. Ah, there's the Wasteland. Okay, sure. Okay, GG's. So on to game 3. I don't change anything here, so let's just go for it. I think it's a pretty cool matchup, Rug Delver. It's like it's less complicated in a way than the Delver decks of Splash Black for discard and Deathrite Shaman. And in that sense, it's I think easier for Storm, but it's a lot tighter, like because of the stifles. So you can easily lose matches just like because they stifle your fetches. We are a pretty like land greedy deck, so. Alright, so we'll be on the play. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, I don't hate this. Let's lead on the Trop. So, like, if they waste us, then that's like we'd rather have that wasted. Mongoose? Please, Mongoose and not Delver. Cage. Okay, sure. So I don't want to. Maybe I should have brainstormed while they were tapped out. I'm not sure. But I'd rather like I didn't want to brainstorm without Trop, with only Trop in play because then it eats a daze and our hand is kind of crap. We really need this brainstorm to resolve. So there's actually an argument to be made for brainstorming in response to their brainstorm. Ooh, and their brainstorm locked. That's nice. Let's probe. See how much counter magic we're up against. Double daze, but only one works. Force, Goose, Ponder, double Stifle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sure. Okay. There's a tutor, so now we just need to hit a discard spell. We don't. But we hit a land, and we're gonna fetch now. And bring out Badlands. And yeah, we just have to pass. We can't beat the force. Second cantrip, sure. They shuffle. And then just have to pass. So what did they discard? Pyroblast, okay. I feel like trying to bait out Cabal Ritual here. Like baiting out the force. But it doesn't make sense. I guess in that sense we shouldn't have played the land, actually. Well, we couldn't really beat it. Actually, with the Dark Ritual. So the thing is, like, if we go Cabal Ritual off, like, Badlands and Trop, and they're thinking, like, should we force this? Because the only way that forcing that is correct is if they fear us having the discard spell, but then we just have the black mana, we could just play it, so just have to pass. I guess they might want to start playing out their Mongoose at some point. Yeah. Okay, come on then. Brainstorm works. Oh, jeez. Jeez. Now we're in a world of trouble. Is there any way we can get out of this? This is very aggravating. We just time walked ourselves twice. Like, if we play out the pedal here and then cast Cabal Ritual, then they're incentivized to daze it for us to sack the pedal. If we sack the pedal, is there any way they would force that? Mind you, they might have drawn a second force. We have so much mana though, it might actually be worth it. I think I'm gonna try because I think like we're in a pretty bad spot. Although this does have the potential to backfire and just, you know, us passing with 3 black mana on our pool. Yep. They didn't bite. I feel semi-okay doing it because like it's not like Storm is gonna matter, I don't think. Sure. Yeah, we should have maybe played out our land before. So we're still hanging in here because of their clock being so slow and them being like bottlenecked on land. But we do have to play through like a lot of disruption. Them having stifle. Yes! Well, I mean, it's only 1, but that's really nice. Okay, we lose a card in hand. That's bad, but we get a shuffle. So we don't have to draw that pedal. They're doing this because they don't want to discard and I guess they're thinking that maybe I have more rituals as I was so willing to just throw a ritual away. So I mean that makes sense. And they're also getting like another card in their graveyard towards Threshold for their Mongoose, but yeah, I don't know if they should have read that we were stuck on like Brainstorm locked. Okay, well. So that's a little bit annoying. So do we force them to stifle on their turn, or do we not show them what we drew? I think we just not show them what we drew. Them drawing a second island would be bad because that doubles their stifles and dazes. Okay. So we could have fetched on their upkeep to force them to use their mana on their turn, but that would give them threshold, so I wanted to see if they had another way to get threshold. And now we'll rather just wait for them to stifle on our turn if they feel like doing that. Let's see. They have threshold now. Okay, and they don't bite. Well, that's pretty awesome. We want both of these therapies. So we'll just pass for now and then do like a big turn on. Also, like, we have a second and third Infernal Tutor on top of our library. But I'm not sure that's going to work. Okay, force days. So what we have to worry about now is them having a second force. We know that they have double stifle ponder, I think. Maybe they use their ponder. So they have double stifle, but like chances are that they have like sorry, what am I thinking here? Chances are that they have drawn like a Flusterstorm. You know what I'm gonna do? I think we're gonna draw. Next turn we're gonna draw. We're not gonna do anything more now. We're just gonna draw the second Infernal Tutor. The next turn we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lands or 6 mana. We can go 8 with the 1 ritual, 10, 12. So we have 12 floating. Use 2 with the second Infernal Tutor to get like another Cabal Therapy. We have 10. We'll have plenty of mana. So we just basically have to dodge them bolting us now and then bolting us again on their turn. That should be pretty awesome. Also, like, Surgical Extraction on our Cabal Therapy would be just a massive blowout. Okay, second Mongoose. Goody Gum drops. Alright, so let's see here if we can get some of these rituals to resolve. So we lose the Surgical Extraction here, either on our tutor or on a therapy. We also lose to like double counterspell. Like if they have force and okay, so hang on. So if they have force and a Flusterstorm and blue cards. Flusterstorm is the card I fear here because if we draw out their stifles and they have force blue card Flusterstorm, then we lose. But we must get the stifles out. They can't both Flusterstorm and stifle, so yeah, no, I think we just have to bank on them only having drawn like one more way to interact. Ugh. We lose. Spell Snare. That's aggravating. Boo. So could I have played that differently? Could I have, like, if I named force because I was expecting they had it, I would have taken the force. Then with therapy naming snare, but then they have stifle, and we can't beat that. If they didn't have the cage now, we'd win. So I guess no, actually, yeah, we would. Would therapy there is snare and then tutor 4. Well, uh, let's see, spell snare. I hope they force this. Maybe? No. GG's. All right, well, that was unfortunate, but good games, I thought. Not really sure if I missed anything. Might have. If I did, if you saw anything you want to comment on, please leave a comment below. And feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks a lot for watching. I'll be back with round number 5.